Welcome back. It's Tobago Thursday here on the Now Morning Show. There's a gentleman from Tobago who recently received the Shakonia Gold Medal for his work in engineering and engineering science, and he is joining us on the Now Morning Show this morning. He's from Tobago originally. He lives in Trinidad now, though. Good morning to you, Professor Stephan Gift. Good morning, sir. Stephan Gift.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Viewers and listeners.
Let me say congratulations again on your Shakonia Gold Medal.
Thank you very much.
Now, we were having a conversation a little bit earlier on the show, and everybody was mesmerized at your accomplishment of earning a PhD at age 24. Still to date, you're the youngest person in the history of the Faculty of Engineering at UWI to graduate, to have a PhD at such a young age. I mean, what kind of work ethic you had back then to be able to accomplish that?
Well, before I answer that, I want to first thank my wife and two sons, my wife Sandra and sons Alistair and Christopher, for their support over the years, my family, friends, university colleagues, and the Association of Professional Engineers of Trinidad and Tobago who nominated me. And of course, I thank God. Regarding events back then, well, I have to say that while I work well in teams, I am really a self-motivated individual. And after I graduated with my first degree in 1976, I signed up to do a PhD program, well, MPhil and then PhD.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an exciting experience, and I set myself the objective of graduating in 3 years. I had seen around me that some others would take a rather long time, and I was determined that that should not happen to me. But I think the main thing is that I was excited by research, and therefore I dived headlong into the whole activity, and the experience was a truly rewarding one. I had a good supervisor, Professor King, who was my PhD supervisor, who guided me.
Right.
And, well, that's how it went.
Now, I know that you mentioned research just now, and you know you love research. I know that you were working for, I believe it was Telco, the Telecommunications Authority back then?
Yes, Telco, Telephone Company of Trinidad and Tobago, yes.
Right, and you had an invention. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, okay. At that time, I left the university. I taught there for 3 or 4 years, and in 1983, I joined Telco to start a research and development department there. I was asked to lead that effort. And we developed a piece of equipment called a subscriber pair identifier, which the purpose of that piece of electronic equipment was to conduct the evaluation and testing of records, whether when the association between a person's telephone number and their position on something called the main distribution frame in the telephone company exchange. Over time, the records get mixed up, and sometimes people will get wrong bills or not be being billed at all. And this piece of equipment was developed to carry out automated testing to ensure that the records were correct. And it saved the company a lot of money, and it was able to do the task very, very quickly. Previously, it was done manually, but with the development of this piece of equipment, we were able to carry out the task very, very quickly and accurately. And it was patented in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and we actually started to sell units. So we sold a unit to the Bahamas Telephone Company and, if I recall, the Barbados Telephone Company. But then things changed and the whole program was discontinued, and I guess the story of that is for another day.
Well, I was actually curious as to how you think that discontinuation of the department, especially relating to research and development, how that would have affected us in the long run.
Well, I think it was not a good idea at all. At the time, we still are owned 49% by Cable and Wireless, and at the time, the chief executive officer of the company was from cable and wireless. That was the agreement. The government of Trinidad and Tobago owned 51%, and cable and wireless owned 49%, and they had the call for who will be the CEO. Right. And it is their CEO, that is Cable and Wireless's Chief Executive Officer, who decided, as from my understanding, that we really, I guess he had to have the agreement of the then board, that such a department wasn't necessary because Cable and Wireless had research facilities in the UK, and that's adequate for our purposes. I, of course, didn't agree with that, but then I was not in a position to do anything about it, and that's how it went.
And so it goes sometimes. But I want to switch gears a little bit and chat about, applied sciences. If you were to speak to students of applied sciences today, what advice would you give them?
Well, it is a very exciting field, all of engineering and applied science, as you refer to it. There's a lot of activity, all the technology that you see changing around us with the cell phones and the various bits and pieces of technology, all the Facebooks and all that you have. All of this is part of applied science that is transforming the world landscape. That is just how it is. There are rapid changes. So therefore, the field is very exciting, and I would encourage young people to at least be aware of what is happening, and they could have satisfying careers in any of these many areas. I know one very active area today is data science. My old son is involved in that. It's a part of computer science, and the manipulation of data to determine trends and so on that would allow companies to have a competitive advantage. And I recall once we had an external examiner come visit us while I was at the University of the West Indies. And she told us that all the data science graduates are being gobbled up by industry.
Yep.
So the advice is that it is an area that they could give good consideration to, because they could find very satisfying careers and often very lucrative ones as well.
Definitely. I want to throw back to when you got your PhD at age 24. We were wondering, what was the field like when you get that PhD at age 24? What do you look up and say, what is my next goal? What was your next goal at that point?
Well, my next goal was to be as good as I could be as a lecturer, because I was lecturing at the time in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Well, at the time it was just Department of Electrical Engineering at the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus. And I set out to do a very good job, which of course is my own way. Whatever I do must be done with great excellence. And that's what I set out to do. And part of being a good lecturer at a university is that you must teach well and you must research well. And that is what I set out to do. And I was fairly successful over the years. I recall thinking that the problems that I experienced as a student, where I found lecturers were not doing things very well, I set out to correct those shortcomings, so to make myself into an even better lecturer and fascinate my students so that they would be encouraged to come to the class and learn and be excited about learning. And I think over the years I was able to achieve that. And of course, in my research work, I've published many papers, and research and discovery was always an exciting aspect of being a lecturer, and it continues to today. I'm really excited by research and continue to be. So those are some of the things I would say that I set my objectives on.
Before we wrap up, Professor Gift, tell me, how does it feel to be honored with the Shakonia Gold Medal for all of this work that you've been doing?
I didn't quite hear the question.
I was wondering, how does it feel for you to be honored with the Shakonia Gold Medal for all this work you've been doing?
Oh, yes. It's a wonderful feeling, I can tell you. To be recognized at the level of country for your contributions to the development of your society is really a very rewarding experience, I would say. And also I believe that it would help to inspire my two sons, who I love very much and who look up to me for guidance in many matters. I think this will inspire them to blaze their own trails in their own areas, and even other young people across Trinidad and Tobago. And, you know, as a lecturer, I've taught many, many, many students over the years. And I am hoping that this award will encourage them to be the best that they can be. And that would really bring me great satisfaction indeed.
Professor Gift, I want to thank you very much for joining us this morning, and congratulations again on the Shakonia Gold Medal Award.
Yes, thank you very much for having me this morning, and have a good day to you and to all.
All right, you too. Take care. All right, that's Professor Stephan Gift, the recipient of the Shakonia Gold Medal, the 2021 National Awards. Congratulations to you, Professor Gift. We take a quick break and come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned. Up next, birthday shouts.